My beloved, I come to you not as a distant voice, but as the future version of yourself, the one who has walked through the storms, the valleys, and the mountain tops. I am the one who has seen what happens when you align with the divine path that was always meant for you. I am writing this to remind you, to awaken you, and to call you back into the fullness of your purpose. There is something important I need you to understand: your energy is a gift from God, and where you place it will determine what unfolds in your life. Right now, you may feel like you are being pulled in a million different directions, trying to do everything, trying to be everywhere, trying to control outcomes that were never yours to control. But God is calling you into a deeper trust, a greater alignment, a more sacred way of being. You do not need to exhaust yourself to prove your worth. You do not need to run yourself empty to feel valuable. You were already chosen. You were already called. You were already loved beyond measure. There is power in bringing your energy back to yourself. There is power in choosing to make your world small, not in limitation, but in focus. God is not asking you to do everything, He is asking you to do the things that truly matter. He is asking you to pour your energy into what He has placed before you, into the mission that He has written for your life. And the more you bring your attention back to what is sacred, the more you will begin to see His hand moving in ways you never imagined. Too often, we spread ourselves thin, thinking that if we just do more, if we just keep pushing, if we just say yes to everything, then we will finally feel fulfilled. But that is not the way of divine alignment. God does not ask for chaos, He asks for faithfulness. He asks for obedience. He asks for stillness, for listening, for trust. The enemy will always try to keep you distracted, to keep you busy, to keep you so entangled in a web of endless tasks that you never have the space to hear the voice of God clearly. But when you make the conscious decision to bring your energy back, to center yourself in His presence, to focus on what is truly meaningful, you begin to walk in a way that is light, unburdened, and fully surrendered. You may be wondering what it means to make your world small. It does not mean shrinking your dreams or limiting your vision. Instead, it means refining your focus so that your energy is no longer wasted on what does not serve your divine purpose. It means being intentional with your time, your thoughts, your commitments. It means guarding your heart against distractions that drain you instead of fill you. It means trusting that when you align with what is meant for you, everything else will naturally fall into place. God has placed a calling on your life, and that calling requires energy. It requires devotion. It requires you to be present, to be willing, to be still enough to hear His guidance. If your energy is scattered, if your heart is divided, if your mind is consumed with things that are not of God, then you will struggle to move forward. But the moment you bring yourself back into alignment, the moment you focus on what truly matters, you will find that everything you have been seeking has been waiting for you all along. There is something powerful about honing your energy like a container. When you try to hold everything, you end up holding nothing. But when you pour into what God has called you to, you will find that your cup overflows. The dreams God has placed in your heart are not random. They are seeds that require nurturing, patience, and commitment. And just like a garden, they cannot grow if you are constantly uprooting them, if you are constantly dividing your attention, if you are constantly exhausting yourself in areas that do not feed your soul. You are being called into a season of refinement. This is not a time to be everywhere and do everything. This is a time to center yourself in the presence of God, to listen deeply, to trust fully, to walk intentionally. There is a divine future waiting for you, one that is filled with peace, abundance, and purpose. But to step into that future, you must be willing to align yourself with it. That means letting go of what drains you. That means saying no to distractions. That means choosing to focus only on what truly serves your spirit. There is so much power in stillness. There is so much wisdom in silence. When you slow down, when you allow yourself to be fully present, when you let go of the need to control and instead surrender to the divine flow, you will begin to see miracles unfold before your eyes. God is always working, even when you cannot see it. He is always leading you, even when you feel lost. He is always preparing the way, even when you do not understand the path before you. Trust that the future you are longing for is already waiting for you. You do not need to force it into being. You do not need to chase it down. You simply need to align yourself with it. And alignment does not come from busyness, it comes from presence. It comes from faith. It comes from being deeply rooted in the truth that God has already gone before you, that He has already made a way, that He is already holding everything together in perfect timing. So let this be your reminder, you do not need to do it all. You do not need to have all the answers. You do not need to strive endlessly in exhaustion. You simply need to trust. You simply need to focus. You simply need to bring your energy back to the things that truly matter. When you do this, when you align yourself with the divine path that has been set before you, you will find that everything falls into place in ways more beautiful than you ever imagined. You are loved. You are guided. You are exactly where you need to be. With faith, your future self.